Hello my dear students. In the last biology classes, you have studied the life processes like nutrition and respiration. Today's class, let us learn about the transport or circulation. Transport or circulation is held by transport system in our body. This is very essential to transport the materials like nutrients, the oxygen, waste materials like carbon dioxide and nitrogenous wastes, and hormones. So how this transport of materials held in our body, what are the organs involved in the process? Let's study now. Transport system consists three major parts. They are blood, blood vessels, and heart. The three major parts of transport system or circulatory system are blood, blood vessels, and the heart. Blood as a tissue, you have studied in your last class in 9th standard. It is a fluid tissue. It consists two major components, fluid medium or liquid component called plasma. It is through plasma all the materials are carried. The second is the solid component. The three major solid components of blood are the three types of blood cells. They are red blood cells or RBC. They carry oxygen and help in oxygen transport. Second one is the WBC or white blood corpuscles. They help in defense of the body. Third one is the platelets. They are the cell fragments which plug the leakage and prevent blood loss by clotting process. So we are safe when we are injured, and blood pressure is also maintained in the body. So about the components of the blood, last class you have studied. The second major component of the transport system, the blood vessels. For the flow of blood, we have three types of blood vessels in the body. The three types are arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Arteries are the thick-walled, elastic-walled blood vessels, and they carry blood away from the heart. In arteries, blood flows with pressure. So remember, arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. Second one is the veins. Veins are thin-walled blood vessels. They bring blood to the heart. Remember, veins bring blood from various parts of the body to the heart. And they have valves to prevent the backflow of blood. In arteries, blood flows with pressure created by the heart contraction, whereas the veins, the pressure created by the muscles, blood is flowing, so the pressure will be less here. Thus, to prevent the backflow, there are valves inside the veins. The third one are the capillaries. Capillaries are the fine branches of the arteries. Okay, an artery, after reaching an organ or a tissue, divides to form finer vessels, and these finer vessels of arteries are called capillaries. The wall of the capillary is very thin. It is one cell thick, so that exchange of materials by diffusion process is possible. So, which are the three types of blood vessels? Arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Veins carry blood to the heart from different parts of the body. Whereas capillaries are the fine branches of the arteries where exchange of materials occur between the blood and the body cells. All the capillaries later joins together to form the vein. Now, the third part of the transport or circulatory system, that is the heart. Heart is the favorite organ of everybody. It is also referred as a symbol of love. It is a muscular organ made up of special muscles called cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles you have studied in your earlier classes. Special involuntary muscles, they function tirelessly day and night from birth till death, and their functioning is not under the control of our wish and will. Heart is conical shaped organ. It is situated in our chest cavity, tilted slightly to the left side. It is having our heart is our fist size. It has 4 chambers. The 4 chambers of the heart are in the right side, right atrium of the upper chamber. The lower chamber is a right ventricle. In the left side, upper chamber is left atrium, the lower chamber is left ventricle. So, the upper chambers are the atria, the lower chambers are the ventricles. Remember, atria are also called auricles, singular atrium or auricle. Now, between the right and the left chambers, there is a muscular septum. Okay, this muscular septum keeps the oxygen rich blood separate from the carbon dioxide rich blood or deoxygenated blood. Now look at the diagram. Let us refer to the various blood vessels which are in connection with the heart. Every chamber of the heart is having the blood vessels connected to it. The first chambers, let's see. The first chamber, right auricle or atrium, is connected with 2 blood vessels. Look at there. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava is bringing deoxygenated blood from all the upper parts of the body. As the name itself indicates, inferior vena cava is bringing the deoxygenated blood from all the lower parts of the body. Second chamber you see, right ventricle. From this, one blood vessel is arising. It is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is carrying the deoxygenated blood from the second chamber, that is left ventricle, to the lungs. See, it is dividing into 2 branches. One branch is carrying deoxygenated blood to the right lung, another to the left lung. There it gets divided into finest branches called capillaries over the air sacs. There the oxygen and carbon dioxide gets exchanged between the air and the body blood. The oxygenated blood is brought back to the third chamber of the heart through pulmonary veins. You see the third chamber there. Left atrium is connected with pulmonary veins. They are bringing the oxygen rich blood to the heart. The fourth chamber is the left ventricle. From here one blood vessel is arising. See, there it is, aorta. See, this aorta is a major artery. It is carrying the oxygen rich blood from the heart to all the parts of the body. It divides into many branches, and few branches carry the blood to the upper parts of the body, to the head region, and few to the lower parts. So thus, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, and the aorta are the very important blood vessels that are connected to the heart. Then heart has its own blood vessels to supply oxygen and nutrients to the cardiac muscles, and those vessels are called coronary arteries. So remember the terms pulmonary, coronary. Okay, pulmonary is related to lungs, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins. You can understand there. Coronary is the word which is in association with the heart. So thus the figure of the heart, it is expected for 4 marks, one of the important figure from life process lesson. So you need to thoroughly practice this figure. The structure has to be properly shown, especially the connection of the blood vessels. Now let us see when does the oxygen enters the blood and when does the carbon dioxide enters the blood. In man, blood flows through the heart 2 times to complete 1 cycle. I repeat, in man and all the other mammals and birds, blood flows through the heart twice to complete 1 cycle. Once is between the heart and the lungs, the other time is between the heart and the body parts. In the first step, the blood from the right ventricle flows to the lungs through pulmonary artery. There the oxygen is entering the blood, carbon dioxide is leaving the blood, blood gets oxygenated. This oxygenated blood is coming to the left atrium through the pulmonary vein. So, okay, this is the first step. Blood is flowing between the heart and the lungs. In the second step, blood from the left ventricle flows to all the parts of the body through aorta and its branches, carrying the oxygen. There in the body parts, the various tissues, oxygen is leaving the blood and carbon dioxide is entering the blood. Please note, here the carbon dioxide is entering the blood. So this carbon dioxide rich blood is brought to the heart through superior and inferior vena cava, and it is entering the right atrium. So how many times this is 1 cycle, okay? How many times the blood is flowing through the heart now? 2 times. Once in the once between the heart and the lungs, another time between the heart and the body parts. So this kind of circulation is referred double circulation, and this is an efficient system of circulation to supply oxygen to all the body parts. And this is very much useful in animals that have high energy need. You know, when you study the evolution of heart in animals, you see it is simple in fishes, amphibians and reptiles, whereas it is advanced in birds and mammals. Why it is so? Let's now look into it. Fishes, amphibians and reptiles are cold-blooded animals. What are cold-blooded? Cold-blooded animals are all those animals whose body temperature keeps changing based on the temperature change of the surrounding. Okay, the fishes, the amphibians like frog, reptiles like lizards, their body temperature is not constant. It keeps fluctuating based on the temperature changes of the surrounding. So, they do not need much energy to keep their body warm. Okay? As the surrounding temperature changes, their body temperature also changes. Whereas the birds and mammals, they are warm-blooded. What are warm-blooded animals? They are all those animals whose body temperature remains constant. It does not fluctuate based on the temperature changes of the surrounding. So here what happens is, when the surrounding temperature drops to very low level, their body temperature remains same. If the surrounding temperature increases also, their body temperature has to stay constant. So to maintain this constant temperature, a lot of energy is needed. Okay? So to provide energy, what is needed? Oxygen is needed, right? In the mitochondria of the cell respiration lesson you have studied, oxygen is used in combustion of food, that is glucose. During the process, energy is released. So oxygen is very essential for combustion process now. So to supply oxygen, very efficient system of transport is necessary. Okay? Oxygen is supplied through blood. So to pump blood, an efficient system of transport is necessary. So advanced system like 4-chambered heart. Here a septum is separating the right chambers from left chambers so that oxygenated blood doesn't get mixed with deoxygenated blood. So the blood, when is carried to all the body parts, oxygen will be in high concentration so that it is sufficiently supplied and energy can be sufficiently produced. This is the adaptation or the evolution what we are seeing in the hearts of the higher animals. Now let's see about the blood pressure. Heart is functioning because of the continuous contraction and relaxation of the cardiac muscles. So during this process of contraction, the blood is pumped to the arteries, especially to the aorta and to its branches. As it is pumped, a force is exerted against the wall of the vessels. So this force that blood exerts against the wall of the vessel is called blood pressure. Okay? This pressure is much greater in arteries, whereas less in veins. And the pressure, the pressure of blood inside the artery during the contraction of the ventricles is called systolic pressure, and the pressure in arteries during the relaxation of the ventricles is called diastolic pressure. Okay? Pressure on the arteries during the contraction, it will be high. Okay? That is systolic pressure. And the pressure during the ventricular relaxation, it is called diastolic pressure. What is the normal systolic and diastolic pressure in humans? Do you know? Yes. Your elders in the family frequently may be visiting doctors to get their blood pressure checked. Is it not? What is the normal pressure? It is 120 by 80 mm of mercury. What does it mean? 120 mm of mercury is the systolic pressure and 80 mm of mercury is the diastolic pressure. Okay, contraction pressure is 120 mm of mercury and relaxation pressure is, it is slight lesser, it is 80 mm of mercury. It should not vary, and if it vary, it is leading to problems. And an instrument used in measuring the blood pressure is called sphygmomanometer. All might have seen this instrument. Sphygmomanometer is the instrument used by the medical officials to measure the blood pressure. Then high blood pressure is referred hypertension, and this is caused by the constriction of the arterioles. Constriction means due to the narrowing of the arterioles, the smaller the space what is present inside the artery, it is leading to hypertensions, and it is resulting in some problems which has to be properly taken care. So regarding the transport or circulation, some of the important things which you should remember are, there are three major components of transport: blood, blood vessels and the heart. Blood as a tissue, you should learn the details. It has a liquid component called plasma. It is because of plasma and through the plasma all the materials in the dissolved state like nutrients, salts are carried to all the parts of the body, and the solid components of the blood are the RBC, WBC and platelets or the blood cells. Each blood cell has its own function to perform. Blood vessels are also of three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Generally, arteries are having oxygen-rich blood. Veins bring blood to the heart. Generally, veins are having carbon dioxide-rich blood. And capillaries are the finest branches of an artery, and there the exchange of materials occur between the blood and the body cells. Then the heart. Heart is a pumping organ. It is the heart that creates the force necessary for the blood to flow in the vessels. Okay, just like how a pump is working and making the fluids flow, like water flow in the pipes, same way, because of the force exerted by the heart, the blood is flowing in the various vessels in our body. Then about the double circulation. In double circulation, where the oxygen is entering the blood and where the carbon dioxide is entering the blood, you should remember. Oxygen is entering the blood in the lungs, carbon dioxide is entering the blood in the body parts. Then the blood pressure and the instrument which is used in measuring the blood pressure. Blood pressure is two types, that is systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Systolic pressure should be 120 mm of mercury. Diastolic pressure normal is 80 mm of mercury. So normal blood pressure in a human is 120 by 80 mm of mercury. And care of the heart is very important. Good diet and body exercise, keeps yoga, meditation, etc. keeps our heart and also the other organs in a healthy status. Let's meet in the next class. Take down the points, draw the diagrams several times and learn to draw it by heart. It is the 4-mark expected figure, as I have said. Take care of yourselves, children. Bye-bye.